Hello, this is Mysterious Labyrinth, and I'm very happy to have received a message from Ekenea. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. We'll get closer to pronouncing it more correctly eventually, I hope. There's an invite button, but it says following. It doesn't allow me to specify a specific human being. Oh no, there's something turning up there. That looks like a familiar picture. What is going on? There she is. Kenya. Hello. What happens now? Oh, do I press a button here? I'm not. Oh goodness me! It's working. It's you. Good evening. Or good.
Hey, how are you, bro?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. After I left Skype, we haven't kept in touch.
Okay.
All right, now you figured out how to do it, how to invite people up at the top, right?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, it just allows me to kind of send. It doesn't seem to allow me to send specific individual invitations.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how to do this, and I know we're live on air, and I got a toothache, so I won't stay on long.
I know what that's like.
All right, now look, up at the top, do you see, it looks like a little face?
With a plus sign.
At the very top.
Yeah,
cursor over it.
Yeah, with a little plus on it.
And it says invite people. Click on that, and then you invite whoever you want.
Right, but that's the thing. I mean, and it gives me that it says it in Norwegian here, so I have to kind of like translate it to English from Norwegian. But send invitations as Mysterious Labyrinth, which is me, and then I press the button, and it doesn't let me write anything in the books, and then I get this choice. I don't know what they call it in the English version, but it's this thing with two circles, my circles or whatever. I suppose it might be called that, and then there's this different thing in the but it doesn't, like I'm saying, there's no way that I can see that allows me to specify a single thing.
When it's blank, just put whoever you want in there.
Oh, hang on. Oh right. Oh no, it's that simple. All right, you've made my day.
Well, that's why I thought I should come on and tell you a little bit about this, because it's complicated but stupid. They could have set this up differently, and they keep changing it.
Yeah, it's about as intuitive as interacting with a frozen bowl of porridge, basically. It's
absolutely, and it is. It's a pain. So when you want to invite people, punch their names in, and that way you can keep. You don't want like 19 people on your chat because nobody ever speaks.
Right.
Like five would be the maximum I would ever invite on a live chat. As I'm sitting in my pajamas, so I'm trying to duck down.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that too. I think it's 1 or 2 people at a time is more than enough, because you can only have like one person speaking at a time anyway. I mean, and then I've ended up in these groups sometimes when I was doing a lot of internet radio, and suddenly there's like 30 people there, and it's just a mess. It's like, as they say, too many cooks spoil the broth, they say.
Absolutely. And are you still doing the internet radio? Because it's been a long time since we spoke.
Yeah, it is. Which makes me extra more happy to see you now. I was thinking, oh no, do I ever get to speak to this lady again? And there you are. So just that alone was enough to make my day. And that you were willing to help me out, and there I was making a video and all the rest of it. So now that's in order, thanks to you. And what was it? What was the question? No.
Are you doing radio again?
Radio, yeah. I mean, I have had different radio shows, but I've been turning up sporadically as a guest on different stations. So I have been kind of once in a while turning up on a what's her program called? At This Moment with Angela Black on it's at Freedom Slips. freedoms. Yeah, it's a funny title because it could mean freedom slips, as in slips away, or it could mean freedom's lips, as
Yes.
in the lips are speaking about freedom. So yeah, that's a station. I think it's usually they've got like two studios, Studio A and Studio B, so it's usually on Studio B. Seemed like there were quite a few listeners. Um, and I'm now I've recently got at last I've got a net connection that actually works. So I couldn't really use this Google Plus so much before because it used a lot of bandwidth and it wouldn't work very well. So now I've got a hard line in the wall and everything seems to be working. So and it's like we're getting into winter time here now, or winter time in Norway, and that's at this time of year we sit a lot at home anyway, in staying out of the cold and make the most of it with this internet connection. And put in my 5 cents for what it's worth. Whatever a truther is, a true thing. Are we going to call it that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to do a hangout, a live one on the day before what they call Thanksgiving here, and that's this really contrived the indoctrination of how this happened is a really contrived thing, and you know that because
Yeah.
you're Norse and people don't know that. Do they? I mean, this might be your first with somebody on it live broadcast that anybody even knows you. So that's your history.
Right. Well, I'm not your everyday Norwegian, if I can put it that way, because I come from a background that is very similar. It has a lot of parallels with the persecution that Native Americans have been through to this day.
Absolutely.
So I'm a mixture of mostly Roma mixed in with Sami. The Sami people have a lot of very close parallels to Native American and Inuit culture,
Absolutely.
without doubt. And in fact, they have a festival in the north of Norway that I would love to go to one day. I think actually there's two of them. Offhand, I don't know what it's called. But there we've got native tribes coming from both South and North America and Canada and other places, even people from Siberia who are also, even in northeastern Siberia, they're playing the same shamanic drum. Some very similar cultural similarities there to this whole tundra region, this whole northern region. You can see that shamanic drum being used all throughout there. Whichever
I'm
content.
about to post you going live here so people will watch. How about that? Is that okay?
I do whatever you feel like. Whatever you feel like. Yeah, yeah, sure.
I'm not trying to take over your hangout. I promise.
I'm just sitting here having a beer. I mean, I'm pretty fearless when it comes to going on air and stuff like that because
yeah.
I lost my fear. I lost my fear, stage fright while playing the guitar. I was really nervous on my first concert, but in fact, for a long time I was very nervous, and then I realised how it was something that went into place in my brain somewhere, and then I kind of became fearless. So, but anyway, so I'm a mixture of cultures. Yes, I do have some Norwegian blood as well, but. The cultures I come from, I mean, they don't teach you about these cultures at school. Our own languages, I mean, my language basically is nothing like Norwegian. It's called Romanes, and there's a dialect of it that we speak here in Norway called Tavringen Zirakripa. I don't speak this language very well. I only know, like, string together words mixed in with Norwegian because a lot of us have lost the language because of it was illegal to speak it. Then also, well, basically this is a language because the Roma people, they came from northwestern India, about 1,000 years ago, started wandering out westwards in different strata, different directions, and I mean, if I showed you a picture of my mother, you'd see that we don't look Norwegian at all. I'm one of the blonder ones in my family, whatever. But so then, I mean, if I count to five in the Romanes, it's Jek, Doi, Trin, Star, Punch.
Well, and
Go to
we both
India.
have
Sorry, yeah.
we've both discussed how we've lost our native language due to the empire system before on Skype, and
Yeah.
and I want, because I just posted you so people will start watching. Um, this is someone I've known, and we used to talk on Skype, and he did radio, so I kind of just took over your hangout here. I'm sorry, but I want to introduce you to people because I know a lot of people probably don't know you, and I'm glad to see you're back online. Um, because like I said, I'm going to do this pre-Thanksgiving thing here, and I don't know if you'd like to come on and be a guest because you do know about a lot about the culture and stuff here. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I know so much as much as you can tell from here. I mean, I'm pretty far away from the Americas here, but native cultures from around the world have fascinated me my entire life. I realized as a child, I realized, hey, why don't you ever get to see a conversation with a Hopi person or an Apache or a Mohican person or whichever tribe, Cherokee, Shawnee, da, da, da. You never get to hear about these people or their culture on the television. I thought, hello, it's being filtered out. I realized this years ago without anyone having to point it out to me because I really I missed a lot of schooling, so I didn't get the full brainwash. So I started thinking independently at an early age, and I never really fitted into the system anyway. But yeah, the same techniques that have been used on the peoples, your peoples, and as in removing the children by force, putting them into what they call residential schools over there, and same technique has been used here. Um, in fact, there was a priest called Eilert Sundt here in Norway who was involved in one of these children's homes. We've also had forced sterilizations, usually done covertly. So they tell you that they're going to take your appendix out or something, and in actual fact, they're probably more likely than not tying knots in your fallopian tubes, sterilizing you, or with one method or another. So this was being done up until the year 1976 here in Norway, along with the forced frontal lobe lobotomies, where they just drill a hole in the front of your head, causing hemorrhaging of the frontal lobe. So, I mean, and also, I mean, it's a common theme, really, about how these empires, as you call them there, I think that's the right word for it, have, well, they've yeah, these empires, or really it is one global empire, isn't it? They've used similar techniques everywhere, but it's all about destroying the culture. Either you allow yourself to be assimilated into the system, or they do everything they can to make it difficult for you to survive as a culture outside of the system. I mean, I tried living outside of the system, in fact, for many years, and I know what a challenge that can be. And well, I'm actually considering becoming what they call a sovereign, getting rid of the birth certificate, just completely removing myself from the system completely. And I know it can be really tough, but I think it's really the right thing to do. But I'm really looking. I'm no expert on this, except for the fact that the very simple version is either you want to be a part of the system or not. And in light of what I know about the system, having looked at the power structures and looked at and seen these agendas coming more and more in our faces, something that I want nothing to do with that, and the fakery, the lies that are all made to justify their agendas. Really, I can't allow myself with a good conscience to have anything to do with any government on this planet, to put it quite frankly and straight like that.
Well, that's and I know we've just discussed this before, and we both agree on that. It's such and it wouldn't be very hard if we could get enough people on board to just walk away from the system. However, that TV mind control box or whatever, and the schooling. And like you said, people don't know in Norway. I mean, here in America, and um, I have put up links and stuff. This what you just said about the sterilization and the lobotomies, and this is really genocide. I don't care what people want to call it. It is a form. It is genocide, and people, and they do it in the name of. Um, this will get some haters watching this, but here for us, they did it in the name of God. Um,
Yeah.
for some reason, so it's really it is an empire that uses whatever means necessary to destroy cultures, and that's exactly it. They're destroying cultures like yours. Yours is one of the most unique cultures. I know it's been a year since we've talked,
Yeah.
but they've destroyed cultures. Yours, mine, other people's, and I'm glad to see you again. That's all I can say. When I saw you pop up, I was like thrilled. Oh my goodness.
Oh, great. Oh, me too. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I couldn't have been. You really made my evening. Actually, turning up like that. So, absolutely. Um, what else could I say? Really. Um, the methods of control. I mean. In the name of God, but I wonder what sort of a God that is. I mean, we're given stories throughout life, and yes, you've mentioned haters, and many people choose to believe, and I don't need really to specify any specific group to say what I'm saying. People are given stories, but if you can't actually uh, is this real? This bit of carpet hanging, well, a bit of what is a blanket hanging here and stuff. There's a wall there. I can see a table. But ideas and concepts are introduced to people throughout their lives, and they can either choose to just be totally gullible and accept that as the ultimate truth, or be able to question these stories given to us. I mean, I was told pantomimes as a child. Like we all hear the stories of Humpty Dumpty. We hear like children's stories like Noddy and Big Ears, and this is pictures in the mind, pictures, fun stories for children. But eventually, you realise that they make stories for grown human beings as well. And in so many ways, I've been looking into, since I've spoken to you last time, I've been looking so much into techniques of control, and I've actually been using quite a bit of time looking deeper into hypnosis techniques, and I actually found what I was looking for. Not just because some people say you look for patterns and you're going to find it. Well, yeah, but I do try to be as objectively impartial as possible when I'm looking for information and trying to find either something works or it doesn't. Now, twice now, since I've spoken to you, I've had the chance, because what I've learned studying these techniques, and I'm not part of any group. I'm just a bloke in a hut trying to figure stuff out. And I have too much respect to misuse anything of that nature. And there are people that misuse these techniques and this knowledge in religious groups, in different cults, and all sorts of areas. And in self-defense, I used one of the techniques, which is, well, I call it a pattern interrupt instant handshake induction. It's a very fancy name for it, isn't it? But twice it kind of, well, there was on two occasions. One time it was a Swedish man. He came over to shake my hand, and he starts doing this strength game with me. And so I gave him a pattern interrupt instant handshake induction, and he was a rag doll in my arms. This big Swedish guy. He's actually quite a funny guy, very talented musician as well. But when he's had a lot to drink, he gets a bit, you know, maybe wants to punch someone up or something. He's a bit crazy. So so I gave him the pattern interrupt thing, and he's just. And I've got this bloke, and I'm trying to hold him up. He's like, wait, this bloke weighs a ton of bricks, and I thought, but at that time, that first time I did this technique, I didn't know that it was similar to a technique used in hypnosis. So you've got there's Richard Bandler, Milton Erickson, and Ellman, Dave Ellman. There are different handshake inductions and different methods of putting someone into a hypnotic trance. And so I didn't realize, I saw that it was very strange. I thought, oh wow, I mean, all I did was that, and it's like, what's going on here? And there was a martial arts expert sitting to the left of me, and he looked totally surprised. He couldn't figure out what was going on either. And then later on, I found out, I started looking into these techniques, and I was sitting on the park bench down here playing a saxophone, actually, because someone gave me this saxophone. And I'm playing on this tenor sax on a park bench, and this guy, he comes up to me, and there was already not such a good vibe because he was sitting there boasting about how weak somebody's handshake was, and then he could just crush their hand. I thought, oh God, he's one of those bully types, is he? But eventually he comes over to me, and I'm sitting on the bench. I'm not disturbing anyone. I haven't actually even spoken to anyone. There were 5 people, 3 of them went away. There was just 2 of them left. And he comes up to me and he gives me a handshake. And he starts trying to pull me out of my sitting position. So I'm like sitting on the bench, and we've got the handshake, and he starts trying to pull me out. So I resist, and I'm actually much stronger. I'm not very big, but I'm much stronger than I look. And he had a hard time getting me to move from that bench. And then, so I thought, well, let's try it. So I go, what, like that? It was a rag doll in my arms. And
Wow.
the thing is, I mean, now with more of the techniques that I've learned, and I'm still trying to figure out more of this to become more fluent in it. Now I could have held him in the trance then. Because then, usually you'll see when they're doing stage hypnosis, they're using the same techniques. Derren Brown is a very well-known one, and also NLP, which comes from hypnosis to neuro-linguistic programming. You can see him using some of that very subtly. Sometimes some of these experts are very subtle at it. But then it's the technique. Oh, I can recommend a guy called Michael White on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. He's one of the guys who gives me a better vibe of a lot of these. You know, I find it pleasurable to watch him demonstrate techniques, and so I highly recommend watching Michael White. If you search Michael White hypnosis on YouTube, you'll find him probably without any problem. Yeah, he shows how. It's a bit like rocking the baby. So once you've got a split second after you've done the shock to put in a command like sleep is the most usual one. So you just say sleep, and then to keep them in the trance, you just rock the baby and you keep talking. Doesn't matter what you say, you just keep going, keep talking, and it keeps them in that state. So there's a thing about spiking the amygdala, which is a part of the brain. There's been like lots of scientific research on this. Some of it more hidden away, I imagine, than other parts of it. But they call it like spiking the amygdala. So the amygdala gets a spike, and then it's the hippocampus or something. I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out, but I'm no expert. I'm just seeing that. The reason I'm mentioning these things is that, wow, I mean, that actually worked. I tried it out myself. It wasn't some show that I'm watching on a stage, some stage hypnosis or some. This is something that actually I experienced, did it myself. So, so I know it's real. So that's why I'm talking about it. And then there you go.
Well, and that's being done, and you did that. Let me see, I'm echoing.
It's
It's,
probably because I'm using a loudspeaker. I'll turn it down a bit.
if they're doing that, if they can do anything, and you did that just testing,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
the
yeah, in
theory.
self-defense, I did it in self-defense, really.
Yeah. Well, you think they could use this for mind control, controlling people?
Yeah, looking into mind control, this it's a massive subject. It really is a lot to, but then it is also it's everywhere. It's used in so many places. I had a friend. I tried. He said he was on his way to an NLP meeting. I tried warning him. Would you wait a minute? He went anyway. And then the next time I saw him, I asked him, "Well, how did it go at the NLP meeting?" And he said, "What NLP meeting?" And this is a guy I know very well, and I've known him for quite some time. So, in fact, he was quite serious. He had no recollection of it whatsoever. So basically, he's been hypnotized, and they can set up a whole separate, personality there, set up a Manchurian candidate. There's people who are experts in this. And like you said, I like the video. I love that video you made where I think you're shooting the television actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what we need to do with the mind control. But then there is the mind control that is so subtle. How do you break a mind control when you don't know you're being controlled? So if you don't know you're being controlled, then you're not going to do anything about it. This is a great problem I see. And there's no nice way. Is there any nice way of telling someone, "Hey, man, I think you're under mind control"? They don't want to hear about it, do they?
No, they don't. And I think there is a lot of mind control going on. Even with, I don't vote, and people say, well, you have no right to complain. And it's absolutely, I have every right to complain because I don't believe in the empire system and the structure they have set up where
Right,
it's an illusionary, two-party system here, and they're selected, they're not elected, and
right.
it just makes me wonder why people don't see through some of this sometimes.
Yeah,
And a lot of that is, I think the TV is the biggest mind control there is.
yeah. The TV, along with psychiatry
Absolutely.
and vaccination programs and fluoridated water, all sorts of things that are being done to us from every conceivable angle. And it's amazing that there's still people on this planet who can still think with all the things that are being done to us.
Absolutely. I'll be right back. I have a cat that wants out.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, just sort it
Keep
out. I'm in
talking.
no
There's
hurry.
not people listening to you.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm going to have a taste of my beer. It's Saturday night. Is that a cat or a dog up there on the sofa? It's hard to see. I think it might be a dog. Is that a small dog? I think maybe so. Yeah. Well, while Akinia is on
Okay,
a
I'm
whisper.
back. I was I got a toothache. So I haven't been feeling well today, so I'm kind of in my pajamas. But I saw you weren't you. It was hard for you to figure out how to do this. I thought I'd jump on and show you how.
Yeah, that
It's
was very nice of you. Yeah, yeah. This means I'm going to be using this more often now. Because now I can actually interact with people. I mean, otherwise I've just been kind of doing some tests, and it's pretty boring to sit there alone. And I'm not that much of an ego trip person, so it's more interesting to talk to someone. And I found out you could also let's see, where's the thing go? There's a little here it is. I don't know if this. Oh no, it's not working. Hang on a second. No, it's not working. Oh, it doesn't work in the group chat. Maybe. Oh, maybe it does. Yeah, there's the colours up there.
you can
Um,
add other people. Oh yeah, you can do all that. Yeah.
yeah, there's your pyramid.
Yeah.
And why is it? Why is the top missing? Because it's the hidden element of symbols, and then you go like that, and you find the rest of the hexagram, which is a spell put on humanity.
Oh,
No.
here we go. Uh, keep talking. I'm going to mute myself, so here goes my phone ringing.
Ah. No, I'm just trying to turn off this drawing thing. I thought it was so fun, such fun to find out that drawing thing there. Um, Whoops. What is that? How do I turn the drawing thing off? Uh-oh. Now I pressed the wrong button again. I think, Matt, I got, since I saw you last time, if I seem a bit slow, maybe it might have something to do with I got hit by a car. Uh, so it was last winter, actually. It was about a year ago. I'm trying to turn off this drawing thing. My brain doesn't work anymore. Anyway, I'll just have to leave it there. No, can't. What if I press it? Does it go away now? Yes, it does now. Oh my.
If you want people to join in, because I won't be able to stay long, I've got people coming over, and I'm in my pajamas still. I haven't. I like.
Well, I mean,
They,
we don't need to do anything more if you don't want to, but it would be good to interact again sometime when you got to sort out your toothache, and I know what that's like. I've been through so. I've hardly got any teeth left. Same story, you know. So
well, no, I don't want to see you. You invite other people if you can and keep going, because I would sit and watch, because we used to have great talks on Skype, because I don't know how well known you're out here, but I think I'm going to promote you, because um, we got really deep on conversations, and I think maybe people ought to get to know you, because you're very intelligent. You haven't let the control get to you, and you know a lot more than people in America know. And especially, you know a lot about American history that Americans would probably not believe. And we were actually going to do something on that, I believe, at one time. Um,
yeah, one thing, and you know, I just say things straight, more or less, quite often straight out these days, and that is. Um, the Masonic grip on this planet, and I think it's. Oh, you've got it ringing there again, and that's certainly a theme. I'm sure you've got plenty to do, and I'll be hanging up. I'll probably have to make some dinner soon anyway, so I'm going to call it a day on this one too, and hopefully we can catch up again. I would love to do that anyway.
okay, let me know in advance, just on the Google side post. On Google, you can leave me like a private message, and then say, hey, I want to do a hangout, and I can say, hey, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I'll figure out how to do that messaging thing eventually as well, and that would be really good. That would be really great.
Okay,
And
I'll send you a message actually as soon as we get off of here, and that way you'll see how it works.
brilliant. Thank you very much.
Okay, it
Right.
was so good seeing you again, and I'm going to get off of here. But I love you, brother. I'm so glad you're back, and I'm sorry about your car accident. Um,
Oh, no problem. It's just you know, sometimes I get a little memory lapse, but then I think maybe I was a bit like that before as well.
no, you're absolutely great, and then I think I'm going to invite you into some of my hangouts, because I've missed you very much once I just let the Skype go. Um, so I'll let you know in advance. How about that? And
Brilliant, brilliant.
we can interact on the Google Plus side, and I can leave you like the private message, which I'll do in just 1 second.
Yeah, when it comes to the time differences here, I guess I'm around 6 or 7 hours later than you, but that doesn't.
Right.
I'm usually often up quite late anyway, like often until 5 or 6 in the morning. So I have no time schedule. I just either I'm available or I'm not. So it's just
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
right. Great. Then we'll.
And I'm gonna let you go, but I am so happy that you're back, and I hope everybody goes, because I posted you up that you're doing this. I hope everybody goes and subs you and stuff, because people, I don't know how many people know you, but you're a most remarkable man, and very knowledgeable, and you contribute a great bit to humanity.
Well, I hope so. I do try at least. Thank you, and so do you. So maybe if we put our efforts together, we can maybe make that little bit of difference. Hopefully, at least when it comes to getting out certain information that the mass media has filtered out for us our entire lives. So try and counterbalance that information um, filtering. So yeah. So I'll probably just have another beer. I'll probably just be practicing the clarinet now, and then I'll make while I make some dinner and stuff. So I need to fatten up a bit because it's winter time. And you know, I need to put a layer of fat on.
There you go. I love you, brother. It's so good to talk to you again. And
Yes,
I am going to
likewise.
jump off and
Right.
get out of my pajamas.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Linda Akenya. What would you prefer me to call you at?
Just one the little barrel do. And we will talk soon. And I'm like I said, I'm going to leave you a private message so you'll know how to communicate.
Right. Right. See you next time then, and good luck.
I love you, bro.
Lots of love to you too. Thank you very much. I'll press the hang
All
up
righty. Bye-bye.
button. Bye for now. Done.